Harry was still obsessed with them 3 weeks after the yacht photo rocked his world. However, he noticed something different this time. When he saw the Croatian shot, he had zoomed into the backdrop for the 100th time. On the deck of the yacht is a little canvas bag that reads Soho House in navy blue with gold lettering. His abdomen fell. It was no ordinary yacht. The yacht belonged to a member of Soho House. It was the same network of upscale clubs where Meghan had spent years. The same location that she had first met her closest confidant, Marcus Anderson, who had attended their wedding in the front row. Harry opened a new tab on his computer and his hands began to shake. Slowly and painstakingly, he typed, Soho. His blood ran cold as he saw what had returned. House Marcus Anderson, Meghan Markle. Marcus wasn't just a Toronto friend. He worked at Soho House International as a consultant. However, based on numerous societal blogs and removed pieces that Harry discovered online, Marcus's actual function was much more specialized. He made connections between wealthy, influential men and attractive, aspirational women. He assisted with the introductions. He made arrangements for entry. He constructed bridges between universes that were not meant to come into contact. He is the man who knows everyone worth knowing and ensures that the appropriate people meet, according to a 2014 Toronto Life article that has been archived. Harry was ill. He had always believed Marcus to be simply Meghan's eccentric companion. But what if she was handled by Marcus? What if all of the parties, yachts, and strategic appearances had been planned? A whole system would be revealed by the rabbit hole he was going to plunge down, and Meghan had always been at its core. Harry's inquiry turned into surgery. He began looking for all of Meghan's pictures in Soho House sites across the world. Everything he believed to be true was altered by what he discovered over the course of the next 6 hours. In November 2015, she was surrounded by British and European business people at Soho House Istanbul, wearing an outfit that cost more than her monthly suit wage. One of them had an unsettlingly similar appearance. Harry's heart stopped as he zoomed in. The proprietor of a polo club, Sir Nicholas Hathaway, made a donation. In 2016, Harry's Sent-a-Bail charity received $50,000. He was holding Meghan's waist with his arm in the picture. A whole year had passed before she was said to have any knowledge of Harry's world. Harry then discovered another one. Barcelona's Soho House, summer 2014. Meghan smiling with a group of 2 people at a rooftop party men Harry knew from his own polo playing days. He had faced them in a game. They had gone to matches that he had gone to. 2 years prior to their blind date, Meghan was already a part of his social circle. Harry retrieved his lists of charitable donors and compared them with the faces in Meghan's old pictures from Soho House. It was a startling overlap. Between 2014 and 2016, Meghan was shown with 8 different men who later made donations to Harry's causes at various Soho House events. She hadn't just walked into his life. She had been around it for years, becoming close to his network, his friends, and his co-workers. She was photographed during a polo after-party in England in 2014. Harry, though 5 of his closest friends had gone to that particular party, he hadn't. She was already there. Establishing relationships, shaking hands, and getting to know the area, it wasn't a coincidence. This was planned, methodical reconnaissance. Harry had an obsession with discovering Marcus Anderson's true function. He made a late-night call to a former he knew a member of Soho House from his party days in London, someone who had been involved in that culture and could be honest with him. Harry sat in utter quiet for an hour after the 40-minute chat was over. He had been brutally honest with his pal. In those circles, Marcus Anderson operated what was known as a finishing school. He found ambitious, attractive ladies and provided them with access to Soho House's international network. He taught them how to navigate through rooms full of power, how to dress for these occasions, and how to talk to people who are wealthy. Above all, he presented them to those who had the power to alter their course. Models met capitalists, actresses met producers, and aspirational women met royalty. Officially, it wasn't a service that you could cover. That was not all there was to it. Marcus simply had a talent for strategically matching people, and he made extensive use of it. According to the acquaintance, Marcus had contacts everywhere. He was pals with Harry's polo players. He had gone to charity galas with members of the royal family. He had access to social schedules, calendars, and data regarding where and when specific individuals would be. Harry was queasy. He displayed Marcus's old social media accounts. He attended a charity gala in 2014 and a polo match in 2013, when several people from Harry's wider social circle were included in the background of photos taken at events held at Soho House in London. Long before Meghan ever set foot in Harry's realm, Marcus had access to it. Furthermore, if Marcus was aware of Harry's schedule, his hobbies, his charitable endeavors, and his social circles, he could put someone in the ideal position. He had the ability to make fate seem real. Before Meghan even mentioned Harry's name, Marcus had access to his calendar. All of a sudden, their love tale resembled a business plan. Harry was then plagued with a straightforward yet heartbreaking question. How did Meghan manage to pay for everything? Memberships to Soho House were not inexpensive. In 2015, the international house membership, which allowed access to places all over the world, cost up to $1,500 a year. The math didn't add up when you factored in the luxury clothing she wore to every occasion, as well as the travel between Toronto, London, Istanbul, Barcelona, and Miami. Harry was well aware of Meghan's suit-wearing earnings. It was insufficient. Not even close. Harry discovered something that made his skin crawl through a contact who was still connected to Soho House Toronto. Meghan had received full coverage and a complimentary membership. In 5 years, she had not paid a single membership fee. The contact stopped talking when Harry insisted on knowing who had sponsored her. With caution, he added that Marcus had a method for guaranteeing access for specific ladies. Corporate accounts were used to handle the membership fees. Meghan hadn't been covering her own expenses because no one inquired. Someone had been funding her access to these resources and investing in her. Upscale settings, funding her transition from TV star to international socialite. Harry began calculating the costs. Soho House memberships on 4 continents, designer clothes, 5-star hotels during boat week, and flights to Europe every several months. He calculated that maintaining Meghan's lifestyle would have cost at least $70,000 to $80,000 a year. Live on a suit salary of $50,000 every season from 2014 to 2016. He could feel the numbers shouting at him. She had received subsidies, and everything fell into place when Harry found out who was responsible for her membership fees. Meghan was being introduced to more than just rich men by Marcus Anderson. He was getting her ready, providing for her, and setting her up as a 3 continents worth of chess pieces on a board. And all along, Harry had been the monarch she was hoping for. Harry did something one morning that he hadn't done since the wedding. He produced the official list of guests. His team and Meghan's meticulously sorted all 600 names. He would never truly examined Meghan's side intently. He had faith in her. Using a highlighter and an internet list of Soho House's foreign members, he now went over it. He felt foolish after learning what he had learned. Jessica Mulrin, a regular at Soho House, and Marcus Anderson front row. An executive from Soho House is Marcus Anderson's +1. Misha knew, the companion who would purportedly set up their blind date. Serena Williams is a member of the Soho House. The list continued. Harry began to make cross-references. More than 60 of the 200 guests on Meghan's side had a direct connection to Soho House. They were either members, regular visitors, or individuals who had been pictured with Meghan at Soho House events prior to 2016. Her childhood pals and Hollywood co-workers weren't mixed together during the wedding. It was a get-together of her Soho House network, the people who had witnessed her ascent and who had observed her workrooms in Toronto and London. Harry glanced at the group from Toronto, particularly the 8 Canadian visitors. Every single one of them showed up in pictures from Soho House Toronto when he looked for their names. Occurrences from 2013 to 2016. Meghan had been close to these people during suits, and they weren't just any friends. These individuals had been a part of the same strategic social circle and were her networking colleagues. A picture from their wedding celebration was discovered by him. Marcus Anderson is pictured holding champagne among 4 other Soho House execs. Seemed incredibly relaxed, as though they were rejoicing over a job well done. Harry's fists tightened. He didn't celebrate love during his wedding. It was a summit for networking. He had been too naive to realize that every single one of the carefully selected guests had contributed to Meghan's success. His wife hadn't only invited pals to their nuptials. Her greatest accomplishment had been witnessed by others. Harry recalled something that had been buried in the back of his mind for years late one night. William had left him a voicemail prior to his proposal. After hearing it for perhaps 30 seconds, Harry hung up, incensed at what he believed to be his brother's jealousy. He now went back and searched through his voicemail records. He located it after 20 minutes. November 2017 was saved, although it was never listened completely. William's voice filled Harry's office as he hit play. Careful, serious, almost begging. I need your attention, Harry. A background check was conducted by Palace Security. I'm sure you'll be upset to hear this, but for years, Meghan has been a part of the Soho House community. In those circles, Marcus Anderson is well known. He puts women in situations. It has nothing to do with her acting profession. Since 2014, she has been pictured with males in your orbit. Someone has put this woman in your way. You should be aware of what you're getting into, but I'm not saying she doesn't care about you. Please give me a call back. Harry's eyesight became blurry. He played it again. However, his brother had not been racist, envious, or protective of the organization. William had received intelligence from the palace, actual documented intelligence. Security regarding Meghan's involvement in the Soho House network, and Harry had disregarded him. Even worse, he had lambasted him for it, accused him of destroying his happiness, and branded him a liar. Harry continued to scroll and discovered 2 additional, more urgent voicemails from William in the weeks leading up to the engagement. At gatherings where your buddies were present, security discovered pictures of her. Years prior to your meeting. Harry, this isn't a coincidence. People who have contributed to your charity are connected to Marcus Anderson. Just check into this before making a proposal, please. Without paying attention, Harry had erased the voicemails. He had been so enamored and certain that everyone was out to ruin him. His contentment. His brother, however, had not felt envious. He had been attempting to save him. Harry finally understood while he was sitting by himself in California. William attempted to warn him after spotting the pattern, the network, and the approach. However, Harry had opted for Meghan's version of events. The voicemails made Harry feel something. He didn't talk to Meghan for days. He walked like a ghost through the house. And he asked the one question that mattered when she eventually caught him in the kitchen and demanded to know what was wrong. Is Marcus Anderson still in contact with you? Meghan's expression transformed in an instant. The warmth was gone. You asked me that, but why? Simply respond to the query. Are you still in contact with Marcus? She folded her arms. Harry is a friend of mine. I do speak to him sometimes, of course. Sometimes? How sometimes? Every month? Every week? She squinted. What's this about? Harry took a step forward, his voice trembling. I located the pictures of Soho House, London, Barcelona, and Istanbul. I located our wedding guest list. I listened to the voicemails left by William. Marcus positioned you, I know. I am aware that for years prior to our meeting, you were circling my planet. I'm asking you straight out. Do you and Marcus still collaborate? Does he still give you advice? Anger made Meghan's face flush. Collaborating with him? Harry, you sound crazy. One of my friends is Marcus. Because that's what friends do in that field. He introduced me to people. Don't tell me lies. Harry's voice broke. I am aware of Marcus's actions. I am aware that he ran introductions. I am aware that your membership was free. 2 years prior to our blind date. I am aware that you attended polo parties with my friends. Tell me the truth, please, and quit acting like this was all a fairy tale. Do you still discuss strategy and future plans with Marcus? Instead of responding, she simply gazed at him with, and Harry had never seen such an expression. Calculating, cold, and totally disengaged. Harry received his response during that pause. She couldn't refute it, therefore she wasn't going to. Marcus remained involved, continuing to work angles and offer advice. What those angles were, and if Harry was still a part of the plan or only a prelude to something more ambitious, were the only questions. Harry is currently living in a nightmare he created for himself. According to staff, he tracks Meghan's itinerary for hours. All business meetings are subject to interrogation. Who will be present? Have you previously collaborated with them? Marcus, did you introduce yourself? 2 more times he checked her phone and discovered encrypted chat apps that he is unable to use. Meghan informed him he needed therapy because he was getting paranoid when he requested the passwords. Perhaps he does. However, paranoia suggests that the threat isn't genuine. Harry is suddenly more aware. Meghan wasn't the only person with ties to the Soho House network. It was the cornerstone of everything she had constructed, including him. He wonders while he sleeps whether he was ever the objective or merely the most successful step on a ladder that kept going up. Because what's stopping Meghan from using Marcus's approach to leverage royalty into something even more significant if she could use it to land a prince? International trademark agreements, political ties, and platforms that amount to hundreds of millions. Now Harry knows he might not have made it to the finish line. He could have been the first to fire. Knowing that he is unable to escape is the most terrible aspect. He will have to come clean if he leaves. His family was correct. William's attempt to keep him alive. He labeled his brother a racist, ruined his connection with his grandma, and left the institution for a woman who had been placed in his path like a Cold War spy. Harry spends several nights by himself, imagining what Marcus and Meghan discuss on their sporadic phone conversations. Does Marcus give her thanks for landing the Netflix deals? Does he plan what to do next? Does he remind her that Harry was always just the vehicle, never the destination? Marcus Anderson's phone rings somewhere in London. Harry will never hear the voice asking the inquiry, but it's a California number. Because of the Soho house arrangement, plans are discussed that Harry will never be aware of. Continued after Meghan received the ring. It changed. Finally, when confined in his Montecito house, Harry realizes that he was never the game's player. The prize was always him. Simple yet horrifying is the question that consumes him every night as he looks at those pictures of the yacht, those ties to Soho House, and that guest list from the wedding. What's the next rung on the ladder if Meghan used Marcus's network to get thus far? And will Harry even be there when she grabs for it? See it coming?